If I lost everything today, no money, no audience, no connections, I'd still be confident I could rebuild. Not because I'm special, but because I finally understood why most people stay broke online. And before I tell you what I would do, let me tell you what I wouldn't do. Because this is where most people destroy their chances before they even start. I wouldn't chase ideas. I wouldn't jump from niche to niche. I wouldn't spend months learning instead of building, because that's what keeps people stuck. Most people think they're failing online because they haven't found the right idea yet. The right niche, the right product, the right time, that's a lie. The real reason most people fail online is simple. They never build a system. They rely on randomness, random content, random offers, random strategies they copied from someone else without understanding why they work. If I had to start from zero in 2026, the first thing I would accept is this truth. Online money doesn't come from talent. It comes from structure. So here's exactly what I would do. First, I would stop trying to be original. This might sound strange, but originality is overrated when you're starting. What matters is clarity. I would pick a proven model, not a trend, not a hack, not a new opportunity, but a model that already works, a model that turns attention into trust and trust into sales. Because attention alone is useless. And that's where most people get it wrong. They chase views, they chase followers, they chase virality. But views without trust don't pay bills. So instead of asking, how do I get more views? I would ask, how do I guide someone from discovering me to trusting me to buying from me? That's the mindset shift. Next, I would build around one transferable skill, not crypto, not dropshipping, not the next shiny business model. I would focus on distribution and funnels. Why? Because if you know how to attract attention, package value, and guide people through a simple decision-making process, you can sell anything. Courses, communities, services, freelancing, agencies, personal brands. The niche becomes secondary once you control the system. Most people never learn this. They stay trapped rebuilding from scratch every time something stops working. What most people misunderstand about online income is the foundation it's built on. Successful online businesses are not driven by products or niches first. They are driven by structure. Specifically, by how attention is converted into trust and trust into action. There's always a sequence. A person discovers you through content. They recognize a problem because you articulate it clearly. They stay because your perspective makes sense. They take a small step because the next action feels logical, not forced. Only then does a transaction happen. When this sequence is broken, nothing scales. Most beginners focus on the wrong layer. They try to sell before positioning. They push offers before clarity. They talk about money instead of outcomes and decision-making. The result is predictable. Traffic without conversion, effort without leverage. If I were starting from zero today, my priority wouldn't be revenue. It would be building a controlled path. A path that intentionally moves someone from awareness to understanding, from understanding to trust, and from trust to a clear decision. This is where most online attempts fail, not because of lack of effort, but because of lack of design. Content by itself is not a business. A product by itself is not a business. The system that connects discovery, messaging, and action is. Once you understand this, your approach changes. You stop reacting to algorithms. You stop copying formats without context. You stop measuring success only by views. Instead, you think in terms of flow. Where is this person entering? What problem are they already aware of? What logical step should come next? And what single action moves them forward without friction? This is how sustainable online income is built. Not through volume, not through constant urgency, but through structure that compounds over time. When the structure is correct, monetization becomes a consequence, not a constant struggle. If I were starting from zero, I would build one clear funnel, even if it's simple, even if it's imperfect. A place where people land, a message they understand, a reason to stay, a reason to trust, a clear next step. No complexity. Because complexity is another form of procrastination. Then I would create content with one purpose only: trust. Not entertainment, not trends, not trying to impress people. I would talk about problems people already feel but can't clearly explain. Confusion, overwhelm, feeling behind, feeling like everyone else has it figured out. Because when someone feels understood, they listen. And when they listen consistently, trust is built. I wouldn't try to sound perfect. I wouldn't pretend to be a guru. I wouldn't fake results. I would speak clearly, calmly, and honestly. That's how you stand out in a world full of noise. Now, here's the part most people don't want to hear. I wouldn't wait until I feel ready. I wouldn't wait for the perfect brand, the perfect website, the perfect product. Because readiness is a myth. Momentum comes after action, not before it. If I had to start from zero, I would build something small, structured, and real, then improve it publicly. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of people. And here's where everything connects. The people who win online aren't smarter. They're not luckier. They're not more talented. They just stopped guessing. They stopped waking up every day wondering what to post, what to sell, or what to try next. They built a system that tells them what to do. That's what I've learned watching creators, businesses, and my own journey. And that's exactly why I built FLUX. FLUX isn't a hack. It's not theory. It's not motivation. It's a clear funnel operating system designed for creators and beginners who want structure instead of chaos. It shows you how to build a simple, repeatable system that works daily, even when you're offline. A system that doesn't depend on luck, trends, or constant reinvention. If I truly had to start from zero in 2025, FLUX is the exact framework I would use. Because it teaches you how to think in systems, not just what buttons to press. And here's the most important thing I want you to understand. You're not behind. You're not stupid. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because no one taught you structure. Once you have that, everything changes. If you want access to the system, FLUX is currently free for the first 200 creators. The link is below. Stop guessing. Build something real.